Good morning, this is Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they unfold live. Market opens up here in about 15 minutes, so let's see what happens. The market is open. I'm going to go ahead and get some at 475, so I got those. Let's see if we can get a further breakout here. Well, not the strongest of breakouts. Again, in at 475. Let's see if this thing wants to get some continuation or not. There we go. So I'm hopping out there at 486 for the time being. And I'll take the quick $110. It is still 9:30, so all that in less than a minute. Let's see what else I can find. You can see SMSI has pulled back here now. So that was feeling very good about just hopping out where I did. If it wants to pull back some more though, I'll be ready for it. Still looking like it's got a chance to go up over 5, but not quite as smooth of a mover as I would have liked to have seen it. You know, it's not totally worthless or anything like that, but I'm going to put an order down there at 460. Let me just make sure I'm looking at, actually, what is that? Yeah, 460. So 460, we'll see if it wants to pull back here. I'd be interested down around that area. Also have an order on Twitter at 41.45. So we'll see if Twitter can work its way back up there. But let's see what happens. Quick little update on SMSI. Not gonna lie, disappointing, but that happens. The breakout, thought it might have a chance, but that is why I just decided to get out. So I can't quite say I nailed the top, but looking at what it's doing now, just a faulty breakout, a false breakout, and now the price is pushing towards potential lows there. So it is what it is. Was definitely hoping for a bigger move to the upside, but again, I also don't want to come across like an ungrateful, greedy savage. I will take that $110 that I made in less than a minute, as you saw. But just kind of update things. Sometimes these faulty breakouts, false breakouts, they exist, and that's just part of the market, part of being a trader. All right, I have an order at 224.85 to go short with a stop loss at 225.30. So risking right around $50 to $60 depending on slippage, which with Tesla you never quite know. So we'll call it right around $60. Could be less, could be a little bit more than that. But if this is the start of a bigger bounce, then I just want out. But right now I'm thinking this has a chance of just being a dead cat bounce. So we'll see. First off, it's just got to get up there and fill me at 224.85. And then after that, we'll see if I'm right or wrong about this being a dead cat bounce. But like I said, if I'm wrong, and if this is actually a much bigger bounce, then I just want out. So like I said, I'm willing to risk right around $60 with potentially making a whole lot more than that. But one step at a time. And again, first step is just got to actually get up to 224.85. All right, 224.15. My entry point from the short side, and then stop at 224.55. How high did that move actually go? It went up as high as 224.07, so I was close, but wasn't quite there. So again, I'm still thinking that this thing could potentially be just a dead cat bounce, but if I'm wrong, then I just want out. So let's see if it can get up to 224.15. So I'm in, and let's see what happens. Let's see if this wants to roll back over, or if this is the start of something bigger. So with slippage, again, I'm right around probably $60 that I'm risking. So it's hovering up around there. Just a matter of, does this thing want to actually roll back over? Looking pretty strong right now. But I'm not going to wave the white flag yet. So all right, what I'll do is I'm going to go ahead and I'll pause it for the time being, and if it looks like I'm either going to get stopped out, or if I adjust the trade plan, or if it really starts to go in my favor, then I'll get the video rolling again. But as of right now, kind of just waiting and seeing if this thing wants to roll back over, or if this is, there we go, starting to get some movement in my direction here a little bit. So what I'm going to do at this point is potentially start to move my stop loss down. What I would like is to see 23.75 on the ask, and if that happens, then what I'm going to do is move my stop loss up and ensure that I have a winning trade. But I'm not willing to do that until I see 223.75-ish on the offer. So right now 224 being quite stubborn. So let's see if it can actually push down through that. So there's the break. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move it up. So now it's a winning trade. It's not a matter of if I make money, but how much money am I going to make? So worst case here, again, with slippage, I suppose it could probably be a break even. But again, at this point, no longer if I make money, but how much money am I going to make? And that's where we want to be as traders. Very, very stressless situation right here. Not if I make money, but how much? So that $15. And I get it, that sounds anticlimactic, but you got to keep in mind, the position I was in. Had this actually rolled back over and just kept on going, I could have made a whole lot more than $15. But I mean, like I said, I got myself in the position where worst case was I made money. And yeah, I get it, $15, but hopefully you see the idea here of I had myself positioned in a very, very nice situation. But let's see what else I can find. All right, have an order. Well, I'm in there. So out. Let me just focus real quick and I'll explain what I'm doing. So 38.15 next entry point. Crazy move here. So that first one, I don't think I captured the entry point on video, but I was at 38.55. And then I know I captured the exit at 38.67. So if this move wants to continue downwards, I'm at 38.15. Actually, at this point, I need to go to 37.75. Friendly reminder, I am watching things on other screens, so that's what made that determination to go down to 37.75. But now it's starting to bounce, but price is definitely all over the place. So we'll see if it wants to work its way down through the $38 mark or not. And as you see, very, very jumpy. So I apologize in advance if I missed the entry point, but I'll let it roll here just to see if we can get a break of 38. It's getting pretty stubborn around this area. So, all right, I am going to go ahead and pause then. Okay, I have an order at 40.95 now to go short since this thing is starting to recover. So we'll see if it can poke its head up to that area or not. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. A little additional context. The day of this recording is a Friday, and we are now 90 minutes in. So nothing huge to report, but I'm pleased with the day. I mean, it's hard to complain about making $110 in less than a minute. And then the Tesla trade, although only $15, it always feels good to know that you had yourself in a spot where had Tesla just kept on going and going down, I would have made a whole lot more than that $15. But I was positioned properly. It just didn't quite work out, and that's how things go. But it's always nice though that when things quote unquote don't quite work out, and you can still walk away with a profit. So try to look at the glass as half full. And then YNDX, that was good. A little disappointed. I probably should have got, and full disclosure, I'm talking in hindsight here. I mean, I probably should have gotten a little bit more aggressive with some more entry points on it, but totally hindsight, so it is what it is. But overall, on Fridays, especially when it's been just a green week, the last thing I want to do is go out there and try to do some sort of superhero trading. I'll be fully honest. I'd like to try to force another trade, get this thing up over $250 on the day. That way, from a YouTube perspective, it maybe has a cooler title, but I mean, it is what it is. I'm not going to force anything for the sake of cool titles on YouTube, but I will fully be honest. I'll admit the temptation is there. The YouTube voice is there. Clay, do some more trades. Get this at least up over $250. But no voices. That's not going to happen. But so that's how the day unfolded. I was pretty active. Sometimes I get distracted, but yeah, I would say I was probably engaged for a good 90 minutes. And just walking away with 185. I say just, I don't want to come across as, again, ungrateful or greedy. But if you've seen other videos of mine, then you've seen me do more than 185. But like I said, for a Friday, 90 minutes, I want to go start my weekend a little early here. And $185 actually goes pretty far when I stop and think about it. Tonight we're having barbecue and a movie night with the kids. So that'll easily pay for all the Sour Patch Kids, the ribs, all the sides, and with plenty of money left over for the weekend. But that is all I have. And before I go, though, real quick, if you enjoy these live trade videos and you want me to keep making them, the quickest way and the easiest way to communicate that to me is just to click the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you're interested in trading alongside me and other quality traders, I do offer a live chat room. So a lot of all these that I traded today were setups that I made alerts on and everything, including SMSI. I alerted the group, hey, keep an eye on that break. And unfortunately, it was a bad breakout. But, as you saw with my trade, there was still plenty of money to be made. Just a shame that it didn't actually get up above the $5 mark. And then finally, if you're interested in learning how to use charts and technical analysis, which is what you saw here, to build a trading strategy that fits in for your goals and your time schedule, then again, you can go to claytrader.com. I offer an online program on that called the Trading Freedom Pathway. But all in all, if you don't want to spend a dime, that's okay. But if you do enjoy the videos, then like I said, the easiest way and quickest way to communicate that to me, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, and also click that little notification bell. Thanks a lot. I'll see you back for the next video. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.